friend, but if there's ever a mover and a shaker, and if somebody can shake things up and get things moving, and I bet the Senate hasn't been the same since he got there. My friend, Senator Chap Petersen, come on over here, man. Do you really know how to tie that thing?
I do. All right. First of all, thank you, everybody. It's great to be here. I told my children I'd take them to the park this morning, so it's not technically a misrepresentation, but after I make this speech, we're probably going to make our exit. I want to make a couple observations. First of all, I was coming down Columbia Pike to get here this morning, and I saw all these Bob McDonnell, Bill Bowling signs, and I also saw someone in the sidewalk. He was holding up a sign. He looked a little bit bedraggled, and the sign said, "Save Jeff." And I thought to myself, you know, I don't think he's talking about Thomas Jefferson. But I thought to myself, you know, I don't see anybody holding up a sign when I pulled into the district park saying, "Save Dickie." So the point I'm making is, Democrats, he has been saved. Democrats, you know, we argue, we dispute, but at the end of the day, we are unified. We are unified. Now, as my daughter here tries to distract you, I'm going to talk a little bit about transportation. And let me tell you about transportation. When you live in Northern Virginia, that's not only a major issue, it's pretty much the only issue. And for those of us that have been involved in public politics, and by the way, I turned 41 yesterday, so I've been involved in politics now almost 15 years. That's not an applause line, trust me. You can tell those people that have made the extra effort, whether they're downstate or whether they're folks that live here, to try and improve our way of life in Northern Virginia. And last year, we had a significant piece of legislation. First of all, we had a special session called by our governor, Tim Kaine, who spent years trying to address this. And we had a piece of legislation sponsored by Mr. Sasslaw, my friend behind me, that would have done more to improve transportation in this part of the state, not to mention statewide, than any piece of legislation I've seen since I've been in state politics. And they wouldn't have done it just by raising taxes on folks that have the misfortune of living in Northern Virginia, and those of us that grew up here, but it would have made it statewide. So it's a statewide effort for all Virginians to participate in and all Virginians to benefit from. Well, let me tell you something. The Republicans did nothing to help us. They did nothing to help us. And that bill passed the state Senate on a party line vote. It was killed in the House. Now, I'm going to contrast that to what happened in 2007 when we got to see their plan, which, by the way, flunked the test at the Virginia Supreme Court, which would have raised taxes for those of us living in Northern Virginia and would have had no statewide component. Because apparently, when you live in Northern Virginia, you get to pay higher taxes to receive the same state services. And I don't think that makes sense. And my daughter doesn't think that makes sense either. And the bottom line is, as we campaign across the state with our eventual statewide ticket, I think we're going to have a conversation with Northern Virginia voters as to who thinks that we ought to pay higher taxes in Northern Virginia to get the same state services that everyone else gets. Because I don't think that. And I don't think the Democratic candidate thinks that. But apparently Bob McDonnell thought that in 2007. Now here's what I'm coming to. We right now are obviously in an economic situation that we have not faced in my lifetime. And whoever wins this race, and I think it will be a Democrat, I trust it will be a Democrat, they're going to have a lot of challenges. But they're going to need to make a long-term commitment to the folks that live in this area, whether they're my age, my children's age, or Dickie's age. Not that there's a difference between those three categories. Because those issues are going to be around here for many, many years. And I applaud our current governor, who just this week announced the expansion of a pilot proposal to extend statewide point-to-point rail from Richmond to D.C. and from Lynchburg to Northern Virginia. That's the type of vision we need. So at the end of the day, to stick with the theme, Bob McDonnell and the Republicans have not been on our side when it comes to helping Northern Virginia commuters. They have not been on our side. The Democratic candidates and our unified state party will be there. They will be there to improve our way of life for us, for our kids, and our grandkids. Now, having said all that, I'm about to take these kids to McDonald's and get them off my back. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thanks.
I'm 41 also. I didn't know we shared the same birthday, same age. That's amazing. When you're a